And finally, for today's episode, let's turn to David Trim for a look at Adventist history.
This week, we hear about the first missionary sent to Bermuda.
Welcome to This Week in Adventist History. On March 14, 1858, while at a meeting with local Adventists in this building in Lovett's Grove, Ohio, Ellen G. White had a 2-hour vision of all past and future history from Lucifer's rebellion to the new earth. Over the next 5 months, she wrote up what she had seen, which she characterized as the great controversy between Christ and his angels and Satan and his angels. The text was published in September 1858, the first appearance of the single most significant work in the corpus of Ellen White's writings. Mrs. White amplified and expanded her text over the next 50 years, publishing a final edition in 1911, 4 years before her death, now with the simpler and familiar title, The Great Controversy Between Christ and Satan. This concept undergirds all Adventist theology. On March 16, 1901, J.W. Bartlett, the first Seventh-day Adventist minister sent as a missionary to Bermuda, organized a company in Hamilton with 13 members. This later became the first local Seventh-day Adventist church in the island country of Bermuda. Bartlett built on literature evangelism ministry in the 1890s, conducted by two Cole Porter brothers, Frank and Marquis Pogue from the U.S. state of Minnesota. But Elder Bartlett's vigorous efforts resulted in another 25 members being added in the first 2 years after the organization of the Hamilton Church. The success of Bartlett's work led to the establishment of the Bermuda Mission in 1903. In 1906, the Bermuda Mission became the Bermuda Conference, part of the Atlantic Union Conference. And on March 17 in 1923, the first church in Iraq was organized in the northern city of Mosul. The first Seventh-day Adventist had come to Iraq 12 years earlier in 1911. Bashir Hasso, a native of the country, had gone to study at the American University of Beirut in Lebanon, and while there, he was baptized by the German missionary Walter Ising. Hasso took his faith back home with him and kept witnessing. Hasso, who you see here photographed in 1946 at that year's General Conference session, became a successful businessman and an important benefactor of Adventist institutions across the Middle East and in the United States. That was This Week in Adventist History.